construction, day 174.
Boy, thank God it's Saturday. Last couple of days has been kind of difficult. Seems like we're not productive, but we are getting things done. You guys see our updates every day. Maybe we're just getting tired of being part of the build. Day 174. We want this build to get completed. We want to move in. We want to enjoy the house. I want to be able to run out of the house and do a cannonball into the pool. Yeah, we're glad that the work week is over, and we're doing our best to try to get as much accomplished as possible. The rain hasn't helped. There's still plenty to do inside, but there's also projects that are being done outside, like tiling the pool, and even just mixing cement. You got to be outside for that, and if it's in the middle of a rainstorm, obviously the guys are not going to go standing in a heavy downpour for that 10 minutes to mix a batch of cement. So we're just not as productive as we have been. But you'll see the updates, and we're looking forward to having tomorrow off, right?
Finally.
Yeah, but the bad news is Wilma and I decided that we're going to bring like one room of furniture. We basically have the 2 spare bedrooms ready. The windows are in, the floors look good, the ceiling's painted, there's no additional work with the ceilings other than the 2 center lights that need to go in, but that's pretty minor. It doesn't look like there's too much touch-ups to do with paint, and that can be done with a few things in it. So we're gonna start bringing up some items on our day off.
We had to do it slowly, right?
Yeah, a little at a time.
At a time.
We may hire like a flatbed truck, a panel truck, to bring the big items, refrigerator and living room set and things like that. But we have a pickup, so why not take advantage of it? So we're going to bring a hefty load up tomorrow on our day off.
Yeah, something that we can lift together.
Yeah, it's just the 2 of us, so it has to be light enough where we both can lift it. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Hey, I heard about the first crime in the area, and you guys know I've said this is a very safe area, and you hear very, very little. And it's a small community, so when something happens, everybody knows. And now that we've been here a while, we're kind of like connected to the locals. So when something happens, people tell us what's going on. A friend of ours stopped at a local store not far from here, not in our municipal, certainly not in our barangay, but it was a few miles from here. And he had to purchase an item at a store. So he stopped and he walked in the store. He's only in the store for a minute. Had his windows down and had his cell phone, wallet, and a bag of his with personal belongings stolen. And he said he was only in the store less than a minute. So someone ran up to his truck, reached in, grabbed the phone, grabbed his wallet, and grabbed a personal bag. And guess what's in the wallet? His driver's license, his credit cards, things like that, ATM cards. Can you imagine? When he told me the story, I was like, oh, geez, I'm very sorry to hear that. And to get back your license here is very difficult. I watched a video. We got to go to the police and report it stolen. Then you have to have the police write it in a blotter, and then you have to get a copy of that blotter. Then you have to get a form filled out from the police station. Then you have to go to an attorney and hire an attorney to fill out an affidavit that has to get notarized before you can even go to the DMV. Can you believe that? That's a lot of red tape, right?
Yes,
so I was told, do not lose your driver's license.
Yes.
So when he told us that story, we felt horrible. The credit card's a big deal. You just go online and cancel them.
Turn it off. Yes.
Just turn it off. It's really quick. Cell phone, that's not good. They're expensive. I'm sure he had a password on it, so they're not going to be able to use it. And he said that he actually had Find My Location, and it was already in Dumaguete just minutes after it was stolen. So whoever stole it took it right to Dumaguete. So it was, it pinged that it was in Dumaguete City. So, crime is everywhere. I wanted to tell that story. And another thing, like Wilma and I, we lock our vehicles all the time, and I've been laughed at. Right now, my truck is right there, right down, it's locked.
Yes.
If I go down to get something in the truck, I unlock it, I reach in, I grab the item, I shut the door, I lock it. I guess that's the many years I lived in New York.
It's just a habit.
It's a habit. Even in our driveway at home, our vehicles was always locked. Even in our house, if we were in the backyard, say just raking leaves, the front door was locked. That's just the way we've always been.
Always.
So, I just wanted to mention that story. We're very, very glad that it's the end of the work week. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some accomplishments today. All right, so the guys are leaving some of their laundry over the weekend. So Janelle is making pretty quick work of this. See how the skim coat is brightening up a little bit? So we finally freed up a tall scaffolding for him. So we just brought this over with like 30 minutes left in the day. So he could only go so high. But what he's done is really made good progress, as always. So all the way around. So let's call it the whole back of the house is done in that piece. So he's 50% done in just a day and a half, because he actually had to leave a half a day yesterday because he's the local Tunoid. You guys can correct me on that. Local police, barangay police. And there was an issue, I guess, in the area, so he had to get involved, some kind of a meeting. So he only worked half a day yesterday. So in a day and a half, he got this close to half done. Now, he still has to do the top portion, but he definitely made some nice progress. So he'll work on doing the top on Monday with the scaffolding, and then he's going to start tackling the back wall. So definitely brighten things up. And I think we're going to do a second coat on this as well, just to make it real smooth, because this is the dirty kitchen. And actually, it looks like he did. I'm going to have to ask him, because it's pretty smooth. He hasn't been sanding anything, but this is real smooth. But anyway, I'll ask him. We may have to do a second coat, and he'll pick this up on Monday. All right, so first quick update. There's the mystery tile. 4 boxes. As you can see by the size, they're large tile. They are the official mystery tile that's going to be going there. So we'll leave it in suspense. I had a subscriber come up not too long ago, and he saw the video where I pointed at the mystery tile, and the first thing that he did, he went over here and he lifted that box. So he got a sneak peek, and he mentioned that. He says, oh, I got to see the mystery tile. So stay tuned for that. Good news is today they were able to replace the tile. So you guys remember, and we just got some miscellaneous things around it so nobody steps on it. The guys are gone. That's all got to be grouted yet, so you can see the joints are a little, bigger than normal because it's not grouted. And I'll grout it tomorrow. But they got that done. So now when you shut the door itself goes right over that line. So if you're on that side, you only see gray, and if you're on this side of the door, you only see the porcelain. So it was fixed. It was a lot of work for the guys, but glad that got done. So there, and also here on the other side. And we got to get some furniture in here at some point, because you can hear the echo. We're not ready for that, but it's going to be nice. So again, real nice job here. So we're glad it's done. We weren't very happy when they were grinding, because look over there. See all the dust? It just created so much dust. And you guys remember, we had that floor looking perfect. But we're coming up tomorrow, and we're going to go ahead and redo that. So, dust everywhere. But once everything's cleaned up, we're going to be very, very happy, because now it's done correctly. And, if I had this door shut and I'm sitting here staring at the brown tile from here, I'd be complaining to Wilma for years, and she's happy that I won't be doing that now. All right, so also the contractor came up today, and he was not pleased with the joints here and here. So he told the guys that that has to get fixed. So remember, we got many, many coats of paint on that, but he wanted to make sure that this joint disappeared. Looks good back there, but this joint, so you can see they have more skim coat up there. And then he walked in, I gotta make sure I step over this. He walked in the bedroom, and that one right there did bother me. This one up here I could live with, but he says nope, he wanted it fixed. So the guys are starting to skim coat this, and then they're gonna have to re-sand it, and then repaint the ceiling. But he's a real perfectionist, which is a good thing. He wants it done correctly. And again, it's just a little bit of a delay because they're going to have to now sand, create more dust. But we're going to be happy at the end because then when we're sitting here, just like I won't be staring at the tile, I won't be looking at the seams. So it's all worth it. Guess what? It's starting to drizzle. It was on and off rain all day today. I mean, not bad, but just light drizzle on and off. So you can see it's starting to fill up down there with some pretty dirty water. But what they got accomplished today is they got all the forms off now. And you can walk on this now. And they worked on the bench. So they did a little more tile work here, across the top. And then what took some time was we wanted to keep the line going. Even though it's a smaller line because of the bench. Maybe I should get a little closer. Make more sense over here. So we wanted to keep the line going all the way across. So that's what was all cuts. And then again, all the flat surfaces, so all the steps and the bench mosaic, and then all the rises of the steps will be the blue. So that takes more time. Just because there's so many cuts. But Monday, they're going to be focusing on doing the steps. And I'm really looking forward to what that's going to look like because the mosaic here really stands out, really jumps out at you, especially in the sun. So I think the steps is even going to be more because it's going to be blue mosaic all the way up. And it's going to repeat. I think it's really going to look really good. All right, so the skim coat was completed for all the beams and all the columns and all the underneath. Because remember yesterday, all this had to be done all the way across the windows here. There was some more work over here. And remember I made mention there was a little area, that last beam that needed to be done yesterday, and it wasn't done again today. So I'm not sure. Why, but they're going to have to do that on Monday. I mean, it's no big deal, but I just made mention of it yesterday, and then I've been walking around all day, and I'm like, the guys are all working over here, but they keep forgetting to do that little piece. So we'll make sure that we knock that out on Monday. So over here in the utility area, and actually for any of you guys who know, so I'm asking for some help. Typically, if you Google water pressure in the Philippines, they say you should set your pump at 40 psi for the high and 20 psi for the low. And nobody here that I've talked to goes anywhere near 40 because they say that's too much pressure for the plastic pipes. So I'm curious of what you guys, anyone who has a house in the Philippines, what do you have your pump set at? So I asked a contractor and he said he has his high at 28 psi. So I'm very curious of what you guys think. So right now, this is set at 25 psi, just because I said I don't want real high pressure. I want to see what the shower water looks like, or when you turn on the sink, which is not even hooked up yet. But I want to see what the pressure is like at 25. and then we can always dial it up. I'd hate to put it at 40 because that's what Google says, and then we break a plastic pipe inside the wall, and then I'd have to chip out whatever I need to chip out to get to it. So right now this is set at 25 with a low set at 10. What do you guys think? I'm very curious to find out. I told everyone that I was going to stay very close to these canopies being made. So today on Saturday, there was no work at all here. One, because Edlin wasn't here, and then the contractor pulled Gino to work on the ceiling, trying to get those joints fixed. So he was inside all day. So no work here, which is fine. It's curing. And then on Monday, maybe they'll start taking the forms down, and I'll follow this along to give you guys a real good set of videos on how to do a canopy in the Philippines. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, girl? You're sleeping? I haven't had you on video in a long time. And you haven't been up to see Philip. I was talking to Janelle today and said, have you been up there? And he said no. So you're just hanging down here. Look how heavy she is. I hope she's not pregnant again. Hey, girl. You've been hanging around, just relaxing.